Nowadays, it seems like everyone has a blog about food, about relationships, about fashion. But one former blogger turned her passion for looking fab for less into a big business. Today, we're at the annual blogger conference in New York City to catch up with the budget fashionista founder, Kathryn Finney, to see how she transformed her love of style into so much more. Let's take a walk in her shoes.
But in your heels, it's about you, never about her. But in your heels, it's about you, never about her.
So Kathryn, many of us know about the budget fashionista, but tell us how your once little blog, right, made a huge boom in the industry.
Well, you know, the budget fashionista started as sort of a love of fashion, but a lack of cash. And I started in 2003. It was like a little tiny blog. I always say to people, it's before Google was invented, so it was like way back in the day. And you know, it just really grew. I think it's about being at the right place at the right time, knowing who you are and sticking with your brand and living that brand.
But the other thing though too that I think is so cool about the budget fashionista is that it's not just about, it's not about being cheap.
Yes.
You know, right? So tell us about that concept.
Well, you know, I feel like you shouldn't spend money if you don't have to spend money. Spend money on things that you truly love. It's a thing I like to call cost per wear, which is you take the price of an item divided by the number of times you're going to wear it, and that's the true value to you.
So hello.
Yes, right? So most people see, oh, that $5 shirt, you know, I'm going to buy it. Well, if it's a $5 puke green shirt that you're never going to wear, that's $5 you just wasted. However, if you spend money on a piece that you're going to wear, you're going to love, you're going to keep in your closet for a while, then that really truly has a lot of value.
What steps did you have to take to make it a business?
Well, the first step I actually had to take is sit down and define who I was and who I am. Well, who I was and who I am. So what am I about? What makes me happy in life? Before even the money. So I wanted a lifestyle that would allow me to spend as much time with my family and friends as possible. I actually have a motto. If I'm not with my family or friends or doing any things that I love, then you have to pay me. Like,
I hear you.
Right? Because my free time, my free time, both free in all definitions of that word, is saved for family and friends.
And when we think about style, how important do you feel it is for a woman to feel good as well as look good?
Well, beauty starts within, right? I don't care how fabulous you are on the outside. If you don't love yourself, it will show.
So the name of the show is In Her Shoes.
Yes.
So talk about how that spirit of style and what you're feeling inside affects the way you walk in the world. And how do you walk in the world?
I walk tall. That's how I walk in the world. I walk tall. I try to walk with direction. I try to walk with purpose. And I also try to walk and be very considerate of those who are also walking with me. Because we don't do this alone.
This is why I love you.
And I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Thank
you.
Like
it's everything,
done.
right? Thank you.
It's
thank
done.
You. You're a mega CEO in tech and in media, quite frankly. Why was it important for you as a black woman to be in charge and to create content and to create your own content?
Well, it's important as a black woman for me to be in charge of what I do because there's so many images of us that are just off. And if you were to read the media and pay a lot of attention and you didn't know any black woman, you would think that we're all unhappy, we're all like poor eaters, we don't have a man, we're not married, we're not lovable. I mean, we're mean, we're, excuse my language, bitchy. I mean, you would think that's what you would think. And so it's important for me to be able to show that there is much more to us. We are multifaceted.
What's next in tech for women of color?
Well, we are powerhouses. Black women, we are involved in tech. And not just working for people, but we're creating companies. There is a conference and event that I'm working with called Focus 100. And the goal of Focus 100 is to get 100 black women to receive either angel or venture funding or acquisition by 2015. So these are big investors and they invest real money in companies that are growing. And they believe and they also see that the future of tech is us. It's black women. It's black people.
So it's In Her Shoes. If you could walk in the shoes of any woman in history, who would that be?
Well, that's a bit of a difficult question because I always think of women who, even if they've passed on, they still have their shoes filled, right? So I guess if I could walk next to someone else's shoes, right? Or if I could borrow their shoes for a minute rather than keep them. I think of women like, I mean, obviously Oprah, especially in what I do. And I like, you know, I really look up to Oprah from a business perspective. I feel like people often see the celebrity, but Oprah is a brilliant businesswoman. And she's been able to create a successful business while still being true to herself and also having a strong commitment to philanthropy. And also my mother and my grandmother, like truly it is inspiring for me that you are doing well. It lets me see that, you know, there is opportunities out there for us, and that if I continue to work hard, I can maybe be like Tai someday.
Girl, please.
Like, but you know, seriously, I think, you know, having this strong community of Black women who are being very successful, who are being who they are, but also, you know, being about the business.
Right. I'm so inspired by you always.
Thank you.
And just knowing all that you do. What do you want us to know about your walk and what it's like to be in your shoes? The one thing.
The one thing is my shoes are fun. That's what I would say.
They are.
They're like,
yeah.
And I'm very, very honored and privileged to be able to be in these shoes.
So gratitude.
It's gratitude.
So gratitude. I love
Gratitude.
that.
XAV. Let's get it.